Hi, and welcome to the video on line graphs. By the end of this video, you should be able to draw a line graph and understand some of its features. To draw a line graph, we need to begin with some data, some information to draw, so to plot. Here I have a line graph that I want to draw for a hospital patient's temperature over time. Here you can see that we have time that starts at 10 a.m. and goes through to 4 p.m. And we have temperature that reaches a top of 40 and then comes back down towards 36 towards the end. And that's what our graph should represent when we draw it. To begin with, it's good to have a grid paper. If you don't have grid paper, you'll need to have a ruler and measure these out. Usually 1 centimeter across is good for this. You won't need the grid in the middle, but you will need a set of axes, a vertical axis and a horizontal axis. Now on the horizontal axis, we're going to put time. This is the independent variable. This is the thing that we are checking throughout the day, the time. The temperature is what we call the dependent variable, and this depends on the time of the day, not the other way around. We'll see that in a little bit. On the vertical axis, where we're going to put our temperature, we need to make sure that there is a scale. That is, that we're going to start here at 0, and every line that goes up by the same amount. Now, when I look at my data, I can see a maximum temperature of 40 degrees. This means I need to at least go up to 40 on my vertical axis. Now, going up by 1s is not going to be very useful to me because I don't have 40 lines. So I'm going to need to choose a different scale, a different number to go up by. Now, I could go up by 2s, but that's not going to be enough. I could also go up by 20s, but that will only give me 2 lines, 20, 40. What I've decided to do is to go up by 10s, and I'm going to actually skip this line in the middle, but I guess you could say I'm going up by 5s, but I'm only going to label the 10s. So 10, 20, 30, and 40. This is a good size. I'm using up a majority of my grid paper here, which is really good, and I'm not leaving anything out. I'm not just drawing it here down the bottom, and I'm also not having this massive graph that I don't need. Now, I've accidentally clicked the button, but that's okay. The next step would have been to put a label in for this horizontal axis. It was time, and on the vertical axis, my label will be temperature. Now, I need to make sure that I have something up here because this is the thing that everyone's going to read before they even look at the graph. And that is a tidal, and that is hourly temperature for this particular graph. At this point, we've done the hardest part. That is to draw the scale and make sure that our temperatures are on the lines. Because now it's just a case of plotting dots where the data is. So at 10 a.m. I'm roughly at 38 degrees, at 11 a.m. I'm roughly at 39, and at 12 p.m. I'm at 40, and so on. We can now just join those dots together and we have a line graph. Not particularly hard at this point. Just make sure that your numbers on both axes are drawn on the lines and not in the columns. I often see students put time in between these columns here, and it makes it difficult to get an accurate dot in between the two vertical lines here. It's much easier to have your time or your independent variable on the vertical line, or at least underneath it, and it makes it a lot easier. Same is true with the scale. You want to make sure that this scale is on the line in each of these particular horizontal lines. And that's it. I'd like you to pause and I'd like you to summarize. I'd like you to draw this up. If you don't have any grid paper, you'll have to draw it up with a ruler. Make sure that you get the table written down as well because this is the data that you will be representing in your graph. And that's it. Hopefully now you know how to draw a line graph, or at least some of the features. And if you have any questions, you can always ask. Good luck.